Hi everybody, PGA Professional Eric Mason here with this week's Tip of the Week. Alright, today we're in the sand and I'm going to show you how to hit a proper bunker shot. That way you can get the ball out of the sand and on the green more often. First thing we want to talk about is club selection. We want to grab our sand wedge somewhere between 54 and 60 degrees, but the most important thing we want to do is have the proper bounce on our club. The bounce is the angle between the front edge and the back edge of our club, and this is what's going to dictate how the club actually slides through the sand. Somebody who is more of a steep swing is probably going to want a little bit more bounce. Somebody who has a shallower golf swing is going to want something with a little less bounce. That way it grabs the sand a little bit more. So make sure you actually check out what kind of bounce you have. Make any adjustments if you need to do that. All right, in our setup, first thing we want to do is we want to take the club and actually open it a little bit. That's going to actually expose the bounce a little bit more, again, making it easier for the club to slide through the sand. So however we open that club face up, we want to compensate for that by aiming a little bit left of our target, again, to compensate for the open club face. So we're going to open the club face, aim a little bit left of the target to compensate for one another. Next thing we want to do is have our ball position a little bit more in the front of our stance. This is a shot where we want to be hitting the sand first. We don't actually want to hit the golf ball. We want to hit the sand just behind the golf ball and explode the ball out. So we're going to move the ball more in the front of our stance. Once we have it there, we want to get most of our weight on our front foot, and we're going to leave it there the entire time. We don't want to be shifting back and through, as we want to be nice and stable in the sand. So put about 70% of your weight on your front foot and leave it there. Also, when we set up, we want to make sure we get our nose and our center of our body just behind the golf ball, basically where we want to enter the sand, because the club's going to bottom out wherever that center point is in our body. So we want to get it about 1 inch behind the golf ball in the sand. That way we're actually hitting that spot. So once we're in a good setup, our club face is open, our stance is a little bit open, ball's in the front of our stance, and we're getting the center of our body more towards our left side and just behind the golf ball. We want to focus on a spot in the sand just about 1.5, 2 inches behind the golf ball. That's where we want to actually hit the sand. So we want to make sure we make a normal swing, and we want to make sure we're aggressive through the golf shot, hit the sand, and actually finish the shot. Okay? So good setup, weights on our front side where our body is just behind the golf ball. We're going to make a normal swing, hit the sand, and make sure you really finish through it, explode that sand out of the bunker. Just like that. Now when you're finished, you want to make sure you rake up the sand really good for the next person who happens to hit it in here. All right, coming up this Saturday, we've got 2 things going on. In the morning from 8 to 9:30, we have a fitness clinic that's called Before the First Swing, and a gentleman's going to be here, and he's going to show you how to stretch and properly maintain your body, exercising, stretching, working on flexibility. That's going to help you before you actually play around a golf, and also during the off season to help your body be in good shape, but also help it perform better during golf. So that's from 8 to 9:30. 10 o'clock, we have our skins game. It's a 10 o'clock shotgun. You can make your own foursomes. There's gross and net skins for both men and women. Hopefully you enjoyed this week's Tip of the Week, and I hope to see you soon.